Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Scott and this is Grassroots NASCAR Racing. Now today we're going to be doing another BAT auction review, but this one is very special. Why? It's one of my cars. That's right. One of my cars is up on Bring a Trailer and we are going to take a look at it today. But before we do that, we're going to take a look back at the last auction that we were watching and we'll see who the winner was. Remember, we always play the Price is Right game here. If you want to comment down below once we're done with this video, what your guess is as to what the car is going to sell for. And whoever gets the closest without going over will win a little prize pack from me. So why don't we just dig in and we'll check it out. All right, so this is the last one that we looked at. It was the Mark Martin Ford Taurus. This thing sold for $26,000. Look at that. 26 grand. I don't get it. That's the second Mark Martin car that's been on here that has sold for a pretty low price. That surprises me a lot. I don't know why the Mark Martin cars just don't go for very much. The last one was $27,000 and it had kind of that goldish paint job. I figured this one would go a little higher since it was kind of more of a, you know, one of his standard paint jobs, but no, 26 grand. So somebody got a good deal on that car. Who was our winner? Our winner was Hot Rods Motorcycling. He commented, I was way over on the last one, so I'm saying 27072. So he was over. He was $1,000 and $1,072 over. But the problem was he was the lowest bid. Nobody else was lower. So I'm going to give him the win, even though he did go over. We're going to give him the prize pack. So Hot Rods Motorcycling, if you're seeing this, shoot me an email. It's in the description of the video and we'll get you a prize pack. All right, guys. So the things going on in my head and the emotions with doing this are kind of all over right now. This is my first time ever putting something on Bring a Trailer, and I just don't, it's scary. You never know how it's going to go. So, but let's take a look at the car and see what you guys think. So here it is, my Mello Yello car. I am putting it up for sale since I got the other one. This is the one that I've owned for, gosh, 9-10 years. I don't know, something like that, 10 years maybe. It's a wonderful car. I've loved it. I've loved messing with it, working on it. But I think it's time for somebody else to enjoy it. So it is on. It just went live, what, about just over an hour ago, or about an hour ago? So let's go through it. So 1991 Pontiac Grand Prix, said to be a Banjo Matthews built chassis that was campaigned in the NASCAR Cup Series in the 80s before it was converted by the Coca-Cola bottling company into a show car. It's got a 350 cubic inch V8 crate engine, Jericho 4-speed. I bought it around 2015, and I've of course done work to it over that amount of time. Yeah, we have the typical stuff: NACA ducts, rear spoiler, side exhaust, 15-inch aero wheels, that kind of stuff. Just recently, what, about a month ago, I think, I put a brand new Optima red top battery and the valve springs were replaced and the carburetor was rebuilt. So the engine is running great right now, very strong. It is offered in Texas, that's correct, with removed parts and a bill of sale. Now the removed parts, that is going to be the stuff that I've either upgraded or just taken off over time. I still have those. So like the original rear view mirror, I have that. The original fan, I have that. And where the driver's seat was mounted to the bar, I had to move the seat back about 2 or 3 inches. So I had to cut off the mount off that bar, and I still have that piece. So I'm 6'5". So if you're shorter and you want to move the seat back forward, you'll have that piece to just weld back in, and then you can bolt the seat to it. So that'll come with it. And there might be 1 or 2 other things that I'm not thinking of at the moment, but This is a steel body car. Of course, Kyle Petty Mello Yello, green and black. The whole outside was redone recently. Well, not the whole outside. So, okay, let me turn off the speakers on the computer. So the bottom, the green was all repainted, and then the black in front of the hood and like from about right there forward. So just that part was repainted to get rid of the rock chips, and then all of the green. And then of course all new graphics. So everything is looking super good on this car right now. You got Goodyear tires, of course. Braking is provided by 4-wheel discs. They are all JFZ brakes. Seller states that the car currently has a neutral setup, which is correct. So this thing is kind of set up right now to do road courses pretty good or ovals pretty good, but it's not set up to do either or at 100%. If you want to go 100% on road course, you're going to want to adjust some of this to where it's a true road course setup, which won't be hard to do. And same if you want to do it on ovals 100%. But right now it's kind of set up in between. And I've only run it on ovals hard. I've had it on Circuit of the Americas, but I didn't really push it. But I've had it on the ovals. I've had it on Rockingham and North Wilkesboro and run it pretty hard, and it did great. So this is a rear steer chassis built by Banjo Matthews, and it's a 110-inch wheelbase. So this is the fire system that I just put in it not too long ago. It has a nozzle that goes back to the rear, to the fuel cell. It has one that comes underneath the dash and is pointed at the driver, and it's got one that goes through the firewall to the engine bay. And there's your handle for the fire system right there. This car is set up, I should label this. This switch right here is the fan, the electric fan. And then the switch next to it in the middle doesn't do anything. So if you wanted to add something to that, that switch is available. And you can see hanging down right there. See that thing? That's the original mount for the original rear view mirror. I left that just in case somebody wanted to put this car back 100% the way it was. I put more of a racing style mirror in there. But if you look back in the day, they just used a basic rear view mirror out of like a factory vehicle, and that's what that mount is for right there. So you got your typical gauges, no odometer, so don't know what the mileage is. Here's the engine. This is all the stuff I just told you. Like I said, this thing is running strong right now. Fires up. I usually run it on either C12 or 110 race gas, and it runs quite well on that. It is a dry sump system, so your tank is behind the driver's seat. And then I put these valve covers on. Before, it just had some older Moroso valve covers, which I'll include those too. I think I have those. I'll include those with it. But these, I purchased these and then had those graphics made at the same time that all the graphics were done. So I found a picture in a book of them doing an engine change on one of Kyle's cars in 1991, and this is what the valve covers looked like. So nothing too exciting on the underside. It does have like a 410 gear in the rear here. This chassis number that was stamped in it, 4201. So let me tell you the story on this thing real quick, just so you have the history on it. So this car, there was two cars that were purchased around the late 90s, early 91. A guy named Boyd Knight at Coca-Cola in Charlotte bought these two cars from Robert G. Now, he took both of the cars to a gentleman named Mike Tubbs. And I got Mike on the phone. I forget if he had commented on one of my posts or something like that, but he was like, hey, I painted that car. So I got in contact with him, got him on the phone, and he was like, yeah, I painted that. There was 2 of them. And Boyd bought these 2 cars from Robert. One was a front steer hutch and the other was a rear steer banjo. And this is the rear steer banjo. So Mike told me what he knew. That's what I know. This 4201 that's on the chassis, that's the only number that I can find anywhere. I've looked everywhere and it's the only number. And what we think is that you can see that it was ground off. There might have been an original number there that was ground off, and then they stamped this one in, 4201, and we're thinking that that's just car 42, show car number 1, and the other car was probably 4202. So, but that's all that I know. The chassis itself on the inside has a green that's almost like a Quaker State green. I'm sorry, no, on the inside it's a yellow. Where the paint is chipped, the gray is chipped, you can see a yellow. It's like a Pennzoil yellow. So the inside was painted yellow at some time. And then over the yellow on the inside and outside, the whole chassis is a green, which is like a Quaker State green. I don't know, no idea. So I don't know what, that's the history of it that I know. I would love to know more, but I just haven't been able to track down more. But I did provide a couple videos. This is one that I made about a week ago. I think you can go, I don't know, if you click on one of these videos, I think you might be able to get to my channel and see a bunch of other videos. I've got a bunch of videos with this car and the work that I've done on it, but let's take a look at these photos real quick. So yeah, like I said, this is all new and nice, you know. I did make some screens to go over these factory inserts because they were so old that they were kind of falling apart. I'll point out a couple little flaws that I know of. The car is really nice though. Let's see. So like on the hinges right here of the deck lid, there is just a couple little tiny cracks in the paint right there. Nothing too bad. The back window could probably use a polishing. I just never got around to doing that. But you can still see out of it, it's okay. Let's see if you can I don't think you can even see it. There's one tiny little dent right there that a PDR guy could probably take care of super quick. It might show up in a later picture. We'll actually move forward here so you can see. Yeah, see how these were. So that was after North Wilkesboro. All those rocks busted out part of that original plastic. You can see these are factory inserts. It has the Pontiac logo right there, or the Pontiac, it says Pontiac. So I made some screen covers for those, and I glued these pieces back together again as much as I could. This just got obliterated, but I thought it looked good with those screens on it, so it needed it anyway. I did leave the little GoPro mount on top there. Figured somebody might want that. Let's see. Need to get over here to this other side. So the window net is still nice and tight when you click it in there. It's really good. I hate pictures where you can see yourself, but when the car is so shiny, you can't really get around that. So, battery is right here on the driver's side rear. JFC brakes. This is just for looks, the fuel filler. It actually has a cap inside. You get through, okay, you can kind of see right there, just a tiny little bit. Tiny little dent. And then we'll get up here on, right there. So this happened one time It might have been going to North Wilkesboro for that trip, or no, I think it was Rockingham the first time. This trailer that you see behind it had a tire rack on the inside, and when the car was in it, normally it sits not very far from that tire rack. It's uncomfortably close to the tire rack. And because the roads are so dang bumpy going from Texas to North Carolina, the car actually walked a little to the side and contacted the tire ramp. So it dented that metal just a tiny bit right there. We've put a little black paint over it just so it blends in a little bit, but yeah, there's just a little dent right there in the metal, unfortunately. But nothing bad. You can see it, well, you can see blue from the steering wheel right there, so it kind of makes it look weird. But yeah, it's a beautiful car. There is a little crack right here too, like right there under, right in the middle. There's one little crack there. But I've done a lot to this. I've added the fire system, a new fuel cell, JFCs, aero wheels. I did replace the, down in the bottom, this heat barrier. The one that was in there was tearing apart, and it freaked me out because it almost looked like fiberglass, but I was so worried there was like some asbestos or something in there. Who knows how old that thing was. So I didn't want to be breathing that. So I took that out and put in these new heat shields. And I've never seen a car with this kind of heat shield on the other side. I've never seen another car with that, but this one had it. So I just left it in there. I did replace the window net and the seat belts. I believe they did just expire not too long ago. Yeah, December of 2023. So if you're needing to be in spec, you're gonna have to replace those. But if you're just doing like what we do, it doesn't matter. I put in this duct on the side and it works great, man. When you get up to speed, that thing shoots air on you. Your on-off switch, which is right behind the driver's seat. And you can always tell it's a banjo. You got that hoop going over right there. That's a banjo thing. But yeah, we won't go through all these. It's a very clean car though. Let's get to the engine. I think I have, oh, there's the fuel cell. So yeah, this is a brand new fuel cell. I think it's about maybe 2 years old or something like that. Year and a half. So there's the fire system coming down, and this one is temperature. So if this catches on fire back here and the temperature gets above a certain degree, this will automatically go. So if you hit the wall hard or something and you get knocked out and this is on fire, this will automatically fire. And I believe when that goes, all of it goes. Yeah, it has to. So, but like I said, this is where you fill it. It's just a unscrew cap there. And also when I had this repainted, when I had all the green repainted and this black, I had the underside of the hood painted black because before it was gray, and that is not correct. That's not how the car should be. So I had that painted, and then we got the correct graphics for underneath the hood, so makes it look really good. Yeah, I added some ducts up here just to get a little air on the brakes. I love the way those look. They came out real cool. And there's your electric fan. That thing works great. Before that electric fan, like if I was doing anything like a parade or anything like that, the temperature would start going up quick. And with this electric fan, I had no problem. I drove this thing for, I don't know how long. I did the NASCAR Hauler Parade in North Wilkesboro with this. The first time the All-Star race was there, just over a year ago. And it did fine through the whole parade. Temperature never got hot. Here's your oil cooler with the screen over it. Dynatech headers. And that's the carb that we just rebuilt. Some numbers for you guys. So yeah, just lots of pictures. You guys can flip through these if you want to. There's nothing terribly exciting. All those braided lines. I think they actually doubled some of the pictures that I sent them. But because I feel like I'm clicking through a lot more pictures than what I sent. Here you go. This is at Rockingham. This is Landon's car that he restored. That's an actual Mark Martin car. Yeah, that's in Rockingham going through, I think that's turns 1 and 2. And there's Rockingham as well. So this car does well. Especially if you're going to do like what we do. So yeah, we got 7 days on this. So yeah, if you guys are looking for a good car to do what we do, so either with Rolling Thunder Racing or Stock Car Classics, those are 2 groups, look them up on Facebook. That they are groups of guys that just have retired cars like this. They go out and they do track events, but it's not competitive. They're not running 100%. They're running like 60, 70, 80%, what you're comfortable with. 80% is about the max. That's what we were doing. And then like we've done the NASCAR hauler parades. You do static displays at a lot of the racetracks. I'm sure some of you guys have seen them this year. But that's, I think, what this car is really good for, is events like that where you're not really pushing it, you're not being competitive, but you want to get out and run some good, fun laps. If you're looking to truly vintage race a car, this might be okay. You might want to put a little bit more powerful engine in it to be more competitive. You could certainly use the engine that's in it. It is strong, it is fun. But if you want to do competitive vintage racing, you'd probably want to put something a little more powerful into it. But it is a great car. It runs well, and I've loved it. I'm sad to see it go, but you know, you've seen the other videos that I've done. There's so many projects that I'm working on right now, and I want to get the other one up and running and get it fixed up. So I think somebody will really enjoy this car. It's a beautiful car. It's one of the most iconic NASCAR paint jobs. So what do you guys think? I'm not going to place a bid. I'm not going to say what I think this car is going to go for, because I have no idea. And that freaks me out a little bit. But what do you guys think? What do you think this car is going to sell for? Be honest. Comment down below. Tell me what you think. And what I think I'm going to do is next Saturday when this ends, it's going to end, I think, in like Saturday afternoon, maybe 2 or 3 o'clock, something like that, just depending on where you are. I'm going to try and do a YouTube live where we can watch it together and see what it finally goes for. I think that'll be kind of fun. So do me a favor, comment down below, let me know what you think, and we will see you in the next one. Take care.